Being named an NBA All-Star is something that every NBA player yearns to do at least one time in their career because it basically all but cements you as a top 12 player in your conference. Once you get that stamp of All-Star, it's something that follows you around your entire career in a great way. Even if you're a guy that's not a perennial All-Star that's making the team every single year, you always have that stamp of All-Star caliber player. But that's not the case for today's list, as when I say All-Star, these guys aren't the first players that come to mind at all. So today we're going to be looking at 5 of the most forgotten All-Star appearances in the history of the association, how they got there, and as well how they performed in the big game. As always, I'm your host Frank Thomas. This is Off the Backboard. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and let's get right into today's video. First player we're going to have on today's list is going to be Tyson Chandler of the New York Knicks, where in the 2012-2013 season, the 30-year-old would have his first and only All-Star appearance, where in 66 games played, he would average 10.4 points per game, 10.7 rebounds, 1.1 blocks, and 63% from the field. This All-Star appearance would also come fresh off of his one and only Defensive Player of the Year campaign, so just a really solid 2-year stretch for Tyson Chandler. He would also make the All-Defensive First Team this year, and the Knicks would finish 54-28. In his lone All-Star appearance, the New York Knicks big man would end up putting up 7 points, 8 rebounds, in 16 minutes played, but he wouldn't be the only participant in today's video from the 2013 All-Star game, as over on the West Coast, Golden State Warriors big man David Lee would also end up snagging a reserve spot. Golden State Warriors forward David Lee would make his second All-Star appearance in the 2012-2013 season, where in 79 games played, he would average 18.5 points, 11.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists on 51% from the field. The Golden State Warriors would go on to finish this season 47-35, and David Lee would make his one and only All-NBA appearance, where he would make the All-NBA third team. Now, if you were around for this era of Warriors basketball, you know how extremely underrated this tenure was for David Lee, as from 2010 to 2014, he would average 18 and 10 consistently for the Warriors. The 2012-2013 season was his second and final All-Star appearance, where in 13 minutes for the Western Conference, he would put up 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals. So just not the best stats for the time that he was given. But the same can't be said for the next appearance on this list, the sharpshooter for the Atlanta Hawks, Kyle Korver. In the 2014-2015 season, Kyle Korver would become the first player ever to make an All-Star appearance strictly based on their three-point percentage, as this season he would average 12.1 points per game, 4 rebounds, and a ridiculous 49% from 3 on 6 attempts a game. Now, team success and an injury would play a huge part as to why he would make this All-Star team, as the Atlanta Hawks would finish the season 60-22 and would have 4 All-Stars this year, and Dwayne Wade would go down with an injury and would be replaced by Kyle Korver. But he definitely didn't let this lone All-Star appearance go to waste, as in just 15 minutes of playing time, he would put up 21 points on 7 for 12 from 3. Now, I remember a lot of people this season being really upset with the Atlanta Hawks having 4 All-Stars this year, but I gotta say, Kyle Korver definitely proved that he belonged to be out there with those guys, as he's one of the greatest shooters of all time. I was actually having a debate with a few of my friends a couple of weeks ago that still hasn't been settled, so I want you guys to help me settle it in the comments down below. All-Star Weekend style 3-point shootout, JJ Redick, Kyle Korver, Stephen Curry. Who are you guys taking in that? Now, I took Kyle Korver just because I think if it's his pure grabbing the balls off of the racks and shooting, he's the best pure shooter of all time. Now, I know that Steph is the best game shooter of all time. You know, he can get it off of the dribble, all that stuff. But if we're just going straight 3-point shootout, I'm taking Kyle Korver every day of the week. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Before we get into these last couple of players, there's just a comment on my most recent video that I wanted to cover because I thought it was super interesting. It's going to come from IRL Little Timmy. He basically said that we should move the All-Star game from the middle of the season to the end of the season so that players are less worried about, injuries, and they can just take it a little bit more serious and actually play defense. And it's just something that I thought was cool that I wanted to talk about for a minute. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm not entirely thinking it's a great idea. One, just because it's something that we as NBA fans look forward to. It's a long 82 game season, and anything that we can look forward to in these 82 games I'll take. That's why they added the in-season tournament and things like that. So that's one point. And then you also have it from the player's perspective. When he said this, I don't know if he meant if we should move it to the end of the season or after the playoffs are done. But I'm assuming he meant after the playoffs are done, just, once the whole season as a whole is wrapped up. But I just don't know how the players would feel about wanting to play another game after a long season. Because, as we all know, a lot of the guys that are in the All-Star game are, of course, on playoff teams. So they're going to be playing their full season as well as the postseason. And their off-season is just supposed to be for them to rehab, spend time with family, go on vacations, things like that. So I don't know how they would feel about, having a whole All-Star weekend during their off-season. Now, my idea is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I know that it's going to sound crazy, but just hear me out. I think at the end of the season, all of the teams that didn't make the playoffs or the play-ins should be able to select one player, and each of those players are in a 1v1 tournament. And the winner of this 1v1 tournament gets maybe like a percent or two higher in the odds for the lottery. I just think it's something that would be extremely entertaining, and NBA fans have been wanting a 1v1 tournament for a long time now. And, they've been saying add it to All-Star Weekend and things like that, and I just don't think that, the stakes just wouldn't be as high. I know that you would have bragging rights and things like that, but if you would have these guys playing 1v1 for higher stakes to make their teams better, I think that that would be extremely entertaining. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let's get right back into the video. Up next on the list, we're going to have Goran Dragic of the Miami Heat, where in the 2017-18 season, the 31-year-old would put up his lone All-Star season, where he would average 17.3 points per game, 4.8 assists, and 4.1 rebounds. This was well deserved for Dragic, as he had an extremely underrated and extremely consistent career. In 9 seasons with the Miami Heat, he would average 16 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. In the All-Star game, he would go on to put up 2 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist in 11 minutes of action. And though he didn't put up the amazing performance that he wanted in his one and only All-Star game, he would go on to finish his career strong, playing another 9 seasons and averaging 12 points a game for those 9 seasons. And last but not least, we're going to have Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls, who in 2012 and 2013 would put up back-to-back All-Star campaigns, where in those 2 seasons combined, he would play 146 games and stuff the stat sheet with averages of 12.3 points per game, 11.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.2 steals, and 1.8 blocks. In his first All-Star appearance, he would put up 8 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists in 18 minutes of playing time. And in his second appearance, he would put up 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in 20 minutes. So just doing a little bit of everything as per usual. This would prove to be a dominant 2-year stretch for Joakim Noah, as in these 2 years he would make the All-NBA Defensive First Team both years, make an All-NBA First Team, and win the Defensive Player of the Year. And that is going to do it for me, y'all. I just want to say thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. And as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm rebooting the Ask OTB series. I know I've been slacking on it a little bit, and I'm very sorry for that. But again, all you got to do is drop a hashtag AskOTB in the comment section down below with any sort of NBA question, hot take, anything like that for a chance to be featured in one of these videos. And I'll be going through all of them and picking a couple that I like and going through them for a couple minutes at the beginning of each episode. And be on the lookout for part 2 of this video, man. This was honestly a ton of fun to film and look into. And there's just a lot of guys that, 1-time, 2-time All-Stars that you just may not remember that I would love to bring light to. So again, just be on the lookout. Thank you so much for watching again. I'm about to get out of here. Peace.